gentleman is the one that had the confrontation with Daniel Martel's father, Earl, I believe his name is. Now, the person has taken that video down. If you do have that video, could you please send it to me? I would really appreciate it.
This, you guys, is Japanese Case Files. And remember, we've been talking about Daniel's dad, Justin's dad. So, hold on a minute. The neighbor goes out on a search, yelling, kiddos, kids, kids. Now, I don't know what the squat, whoa, what's that? I think that's our chat pin. Let me fix that. I don't know what that big to-do was about between Daniel, I'm sorry, Daniel's dad and the neighbor, but from what I'm understanding, rumor on the street is that the searcher was getting close to his property. His step-grandkids are missing. What? The neighbor's searching. Remember, we've heard Daryl O'Grady talk about this piece of blanket being just near the turnoff to the dirt road that goes to Daniel's place. I've talked to you about what it would be like if I had been on a four-wheeler and part of my clothes were ripped off. Well, did they wrap these babies up in that Lilly blanket and then destroy it, put it in the garbage? Yeah, maybe it was a curtain. Maybe when this accident happened, if it's an accident, we don't know what happened. Maybe they ripped that curtain down, right? That was Lily's blanket and used it in some way to swaddle these kids. Another idea that we've talked about is, what if the children, what if you had on a shirt and somebody else, like, oh, I don't know, your brother had on one of your shirts. We'll call them sweaters, right? And you put the child underneath the sweater, right? Keep the head out a little bit to transport them and have freedom of steering that four-wheeler. So, welcome to 1111 True Crime. I'm Mama G. We're going to be talking about the Jack and Lily case, and we're also going to be talking in depth about what Haley has said. And did she actually just throw Malaya under the bus as well? So a lot to go over. Hello to everybody. I'm just grabbing you guys because we've got a lot of people here, so I don't want to try to say hello to every single one, but I appreciate you all so much. Hi, Julie Jill. How you doing? Hey, Ocean Deep. Laura. Let's see who's all here. Well, thank you all, Jennifer Swain, Rach Not That Rach, all of you, welcome, welcome, and thank you all for modding. My beautiful mods do a great job. They're very loving, very kind. So today we're doing this in a sense to understand what, oh, wow. Sorry, you guys. Ocean Deep, thank you for being a Starlight Seed for 2 months. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I hope you're able to join us on our next Starlight. We missed you so much last time. All right, loves, let's get into this a little bit deeper, if we will. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. And remember, Jamie claimed to have filled, according to O'Grady, a pothole that night. Well, we've got a picture of the pothole because, let me see here. There we go. So Daniel's dad has a quarrel, right? We'll come back to that in just a minute. The reason I named this Truth or Dare is because I was over on the beautiful channel A Criming Shame. It's A Criming Shame with Sunny, and well, she was playing this entire thing that Haley had said on In the Fog, I believe, and on the channel was Sunny, Daryl O'Grady was a talking, and what he said was this. What? Are you seeing it for yourself? Let me grab this and move it up a little bit so you can see. We're going to switch it up. Look. So I began to really think about this. We really need to pay attention to what Haley said in detail, because there's a lot wrong with what she's saying. Like, she doesn't deny that these kids have been moved anywhere. In fact, she came on and I think there's something going on here to get us to believe that the kids could be alive and well and living somewhere, and we'll just lose interest in the case. I really do think that this is a ploy. And I almost think that she may have thrown Malaya directly under the bus. But he did write. Dermot O'Grady wrote, "Keep talking, Haley, I dare you." And then she was getting beeped off on her phone, and all of a sudden she got beep, 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 and she got off her phone. I gotta go. So I don't know how much time was between this. But I find that very, very peculiar. Hi, Pauline Smith. Good to see you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Zoe. We have a poll going today, all right? So we do polls here. We do everything a little different here. You'll just have to bear with us. We are an interactive channel with the audience, and we work through some of this stuff together. So getting information on how you feel, your opinion, helps me to understand more or less things that I might not have thought of that you did. So I want to know, I asked the question, do you feel rugs are involved in the disappearance of Lilly and Jack? Now, I'm not going to give the answer yet. We don't have 100 votes, but we will soon. I know you guys are into voting, so get your vote in. Here's the answers if you want to play along on replay. So if you answer yay, I do that every time. If you answer A, yes, not yay, A, yes, look at the math lab camper, right? If you answer B, no, they're just sleepy parents. C, you're saying highly doubtful that there's any drugs involved. And if you answer D, you're not sure, but leaning towards yes. So I tried to give everybody a fair, balanced poll, and that way you can feel how you feel and still express yourself. And we'll come back to the poll. Thank you, Zoe, so incredibly much. I have a lot of buttons to take care of. Now, let's get into this for a minute. Wait, where's my main thing? I hate when I do this. I got it. It's just tiny. Lord, everybody's tired today. I'm tired today, and I had plenty of sleep. I have no idea why. Don't ask me, but here we go. I want you to listen to it. I'm going to be reacting to it as we go. So let me get my headset on with you. Now I am going to, just so you know, I am going to stop this and pick this apart. I do that. Well, there's Daniel, Malaya, whoever it is. Words matter. And so I'm gonna be stopping this a lot. And we're gonna be going through this because I believe that we get some answers in this that I didn't hear before until I listened to it a couple times. And on the third time through, I think it was third time, I was like, well, isn't that special? And it wasn't good news. It's not good news. So here we go. Okay, guys, are you ready?
And we were all in the kitchen and we heard things rustling around in the bathroom. We're like, what the hell? So my stepmom went and knocked on the door and was like, damn, what's going on? Are you all right? Anyway, my sister-in-law went in and said she needed to use the bathroom. So he came up.
Okay, wait a minute. Right there, I'm stuck already. Because what does she mean that her stepsister, or who was it, just went on in the bathroom? Said she went in and said she had to use the bathroom. Okay, to me, there seems to be a time delay here. Like, are they outside the trailer and she's going in the trailer because she said she had to go to the bathroom? You feel me? I don't think she walked in on Daniel. I think they got suspicious of Daniel, and there would be no word used as to investigate unless you were suspicious, right? If you're not sus, you're not going to be doing any investigation. So they've already got something, and I think there is some truth to all of this, but I think we really need to pay attention. Oh, so much so. Laura, I pray for Lilly and Jack to come home. I truly, truly do. Hey, Mary Dalmatians. Good to see you, lovely. Mama does mean business today. We're focused. All right. So right there, in that alone, I'm thinking there's some timeline that she's not sharing. I'll go ahead and back it up to right there.
Oh, so my stepmom went and knocked on the door and was like, damn, what's going on? Are you all right? Anyway.
Okay. Why did she skip his answer? Why did she skip it to anyway? So there's some time lapse and she's using anyway to skip something big. But there's suspicion going on, right?
My sister-in-law went in and said she needed to use the bathroom. So he came out and he's kind of like hovering.
Haley.
So he came out and he's kind of like hovering. So he's not really hovering. He's not real, kind of like it. Kind of like hovering. I think she's reading a lot into it.
Sorry, Haley. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but just because my mind's sort of going crazy with trying to figure out and keep people straight. Who is your sister-in-law?
So Shelby, Cheryl, Cheryl said I was her sister-in-law. It's like confusing, but Shelby's with my brother. She's my sister-in-law, and Cheryl is Shelby's sister. So.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Okay, just to get it straight as to who we're talking about so that people in chat sort of know.
Thank you, Julie.
Anyway, go ahead.
So like he was wrestling some things around in the bathroom, and we went in to kind of investigate after him.
Right there. He was wrestling some things around in the bathroom. That is just weird. Because he's just about to head out to the RCMP meeting. There's no way Daniel's doing drugs, and by then the rugs would be out of the trailer. So I don't think she saw drugs. I don't. And she put a disclaimer, a little bit of a retraction back. Doris Carson, Caron. Sorry, Doris Caron. Thank you so much for becoming a starlight. I greatly appreciate it. We come together at 2 o'clock CDT time on Sundays, and we have a beautiful time together. You're going to find you've joined a great group. We are self-sponsoring, by the way. So thank you again, Doris. When it comes to this whole narrative, she actually isn't saying, okay, let me hear that little part again.
So like he was wrestling some things around in the bathroom, and we went in to kind of investigate after him, And there was drugs.
And there was drugs. So someone must have found them. Because she's implying that they went into the bathroom. So no matter what her retraction is, this is a direct statement. Listen again.
So like he was wrestling some things around in the bathroom. And we went in to kind of investigate after him. And there was drugs.
They didn't say they found them. They just said she says there was drugs. Why didn't she say we found drugs? That's really weird. And I'm more concerned about the laundry, right? The 2 shirts, because remember, Daniel's going to head off to the RCMP and then come back and claim that Malaya's family took the 2 sweaters, a blue one and a white one, that he was wearing before when he was searching for Lilly and Jack. And what's in the bathroom is laundry. And laundry baskets, or trying to find a place to hide some shirts. Like maybe under the floorboard in the bathroom. Like maybe there's a hole where the pipe goes down into the floor of the trailer and he knows it. And he's got to get some stuff out of the way to maybe shove some shirts under there. Because maybe those are the shirts that the kids had been used to transport the children while they drove four-wheelers. I say they because I think it could be him and maybe someone else, in my humble opinion. Aww. Prime Candy. Lovely. I love you so much. Thank you for the $5 snooper chat. I greatly appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you for replay. So so Tress is saying, well, they must have seen them, Daniel, wrestling those rugs. I just think with there that many police around, I don't think they're going to be in that trailer where they know they've had time, because we're talking in the afternoon. This place has already been searched for kids. I'm just wondering, could it be the laundry? Hello and welcome back. Phoenix Files. Never seen anything like this. Amen. Amen. I lost some serious sleep last night. I lost some serious sleep. I'm like, oh my God. They just need to get it out of my head. The RCMP need to get their hind end over there and do a 5-mile search around Daniel's dad's property, in my humble opinion. And I want ground penetrating radar on that pothole, or just go shovel it up. Is that where the rugs are? But they buried the rugs in the bottom of the driveway and just put a boot print of Jack on top, so they could be like, well, that's where the dogs hit because of the boot, because they had to get rid of rugs. But I don't think they would keep the rugs on property. I'm just wondering. But we do have this picture of the pothole, you guys, because of Daphne's case files. Thank you, lovely. Hats off to you, and hats off to It's a Crime and Shame. You guys are doing a great job. I like to actually promote the channels that are working seriously hard, and so that's why you'll see right up here, if you want to subscribe, that is her logo and her homepage. And yeah, this is just wild to me. So let's get back into this, because we're going to go all the way through even her retraction. Okay, where are we?
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, Cheryl said I was her sister-in-law. It's like confusing. Okay. But Shelby's with my brother. She's my sister-in-law, and Cheryl is Shelby's sister. So.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Okay, just to get it straight as to who we're talking about, so that people in chat sort of know. Anyway, go ahead.
So like he was wrestling some things around in the bathroom, and we went in to kind of investigate after him, and there was drugs.
So what does that mean? And there was drugs. So this is what I really think it means. And it's the start of it, of what we're really going to talk about, which is Malaya getting thrown under the bus by even her half-sister. So you notice she's not saying they were Daniel's rugs, because as she talks on, she begins to be talking to someone that it sounds like she's talking about a conversation where she was losing her shite with Malaya, the mother. Think about it. Daniel, Janie are not the only one that are required to have supervised visits with Meadow. You feel me? So, my guess is there's a reason for that. Because just because your kids go missing doesn't mean CPS automatically comes in and takes your kids or puts restrictions on you with a baby or none of that. Look at the Sebastian Rogers case. Yes, United States, but still. So this whole supervision, I think we're about to hear the truth. Parts of the truth. And this is why Durwood is saying shut up. Well, he doesn't say shut up. He actually says keep talking, Haley. I dare you. And puts I dare you in caps.
Drugs was involved, and that's what fueled the family.
And drugs were involved. So she's not putting it on Daniel only, which she's open to do. She has that prerogative.
So like he was wrestling some things around in the bathroom, and we went in to kind of investigate after him, and there was drugs.
Say she distanced whose drugs they are because of what she's
Drugs
about
was
to
involved,
say.
and that's what fueled the family altercation in the driveway, and I'll be the one to say that because...
And I'll be the one to say that. As if somehow she has elected herself to be the one out of all of Malaya's family to come forward and announce that there were drugs involved. But she never, ever says they were Daniel's drugs. She never says Daniel was doing drugs in this part. She is saying that drugs were found. Well, she didn't even say found. She says there were drugs. Just flat out, they were there.
Because I got so freaking mad.
Listen.
After this was found out, because then I said to him, I said, that's exactly why you're acting the way you are, running around like a madman.
So she's talking about Daniel. Remember how he was ahead of the helicopters? The He-Man syndrome, right? Well, with the He-Man syndrome, being able to outrun the helicopters and all this, maybe he was sped up.
Acting like you're doing everything and everybody's just sitting back, like relaxing. Like nobody was, but nobody was running around like a chicken with their head cut off because we weren't on drugs. Do you know what I mean? But that's what the altercation was, because I was like, I confronted his family. It was actually me. And I said, what the hell?
It was actually me. And she says his family.
Hell, guys, like, what's going on here? Like, why is that involved? My sister broke down and she admitted that he's been on it for 2 years or so. So she
can't really qualify that 2 years. So Malaya's admitting to Haley, her half-sister, according to what we're hearing right here, that Daniel's been on rugs for the last 2 years or so.
And yeah, so they all got very, very...
And yeah.
Very mad when that came about, and they all kind of said, you know what, we already knew that.
Things came about. Wait, what?
What's going on here? Like, why is that involved? My sister broke down and she admitted that he's been on it for 2 years or so. And yeah, so they all got very, very mad when that came about, and they all kind of said, you know what, we already knew that. Well, if you knew...
We already knew that. Why would they admit that? There's police all over, RCMP all over. They're out in the driveway screaming at each other, having an altercation before they go to this rescue thing about rugs. I do not believe that they're going to admit to it, but okay.
Do that. Why the hell is their children in a home with somebody like that?
I think that she's saying that these were both Malaya and Daniel's rugs.
Like, why aren't you protecting the kids that way? Like, do you know what I mean?
So she's saying, why aren't you protecting the kids from this? I think she's talking to Malaya.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the big piece that Logan and whoever else, this Darren guy that is related to Malaya's side, I mean, he's just spewing a bunch of stuff that's not 100%.
Okay, right there's weird. Spewing is nasty as vile, right? It's like spitting. It's disgusting. So this is something he's spitting out of his mouth. So it's disgusting to her. However, it's not 100%. Is it 99.9% correct? Is it 1% correct? How much of what Darren is saying does Haley feel is correct? Because all I know that Darren's been saying is that the kids were removed off property by Malaya and Janie Cotter. Now, everybody's been wondering, and so have I, why would Malaya, according to Daniel, look surprised that Janie's on property at her camper if she lives there? Right? Why would you be surprised? Unless you don't live there. Unless all of a sudden you're just on property and your kids are missing, and all of a sudden your mother-in-law is right there and she ain't normally there, and it's early in the damn morning. Something's wrong. And then Janie is the one that filled the pothole the night before. So if Janie was there the night before filling potholes and Malaya knew that, why would she have been all like, oh, you're home? No. Doesn't work that way.
Well, none of his stuff can be verified. So just remind me, when did this altercation break out? That was on the Saturday, right?
Yeah, that was just as Malaya was going down to the press conference. Yeah. So Malaya broke at the end of the driveway. She was crying, and I was like,
So that's what happened. We're stuck at the end of the driveway with Malaya crying. If my theory's right, that would have been the last she saw of her children. If my theory is right, that these children got into rugs such as Fent, thinking it was something that they could, they might not even got into it. If it's just, there were rugs. And you'll see that she says, I didn't say it was meth. I didn't say it was coke. Because maybe it was Fent. All right, so here's the thing, y'all. Janie is going through O'Grady, who is alleging that Janie's telling him that these kids were put into a vehicle by Malaya and removed off gone. What if it's actually reversed? What if Daniel and his bro were the ones that put these kids on them four-wheelers and, like I said, using the old curtain of Lily's blanket to swaddle them or whatever, and then took them away because of this Fent? If Malaya, which I do suspect had already gone through the grieving process somewhat and had come to a sorrow point knowing there's no way back, a finality at her first interview on May 2nd, then Malaya could be very easily triggered at the end of the driveway if that's the last time she laid eyes on her children and doesn't know exactly where the kids are, where their remains are. Because Haley is talking about all these rugs that are found, but she doesn't say found. She just says there are rugs, right? They were in the bathroom investigating, and yeah, there were rugs. And then Malaya gives it up, breaks down, starts crying at the end of the driveway. Phoenix Files says either they're 1,000% off property, alive, O'Grady, or something else went down. I think it's very strange that Daniel's father allegedly had a conflict with the neighbor that is searching for the kids on his property or near his property. Hi, Amy R. How are you? How else could Daniel be making a living working 1 day a week? I asked that and everybody got mad at me, so I don't ask that no more because they told me that they're getting a fortune with the kids and all this. And then I heard they were having terrible money problems, so I don't know what to believe. I don't have their, accounting. I don't know. It was raining and she was looking through the window and crying as she watched them fade away into the woods. In your opinion, thank you, Jaipal. Phoenix says, was she giving her a coded message when he said waterfall and beach perhaps? I've wondered that too. A lot of us are wondering that. We were brought up to share, I thought my children, oh gee, I missed something, honey. I know she did, Truth and Beauty. She definitely said it was math, but you're going to see where she qualifies it. No, she didn't. She says no. Right, if by a miracle those kids were alive and it does turn out to be bogus, they is paying for every cent of this investigation. The brother is so suspicious. I'm with you, Katrina, laying back on that sparkling four-wheeler in immaculate clean boots. Yep. It's really concerning. All right, here we go.
What's going on? And she wouldn't talk. And I looked at her and I said, now's the time to talk. Like, get fucking talking. Like, what's going on? And she broke down, and that's what it came about, that he was doing that. So
Okay.
that fueled the family fight that there was. And I mean, yes, Janie or whatever her name was did go at Cheryl. Logan was trying to fight everybody in the driveway. They kicked us off the property because we found out something that nobody was supposed to find out, right?
Okay.
Right, Matilda Marie. Nobody seems to think about the smell, right? But if your house isn't clean and you're not changing your kids' pull-up, God only knows what, people think the smell is. Yeah, Justin was bawling his eyes out that morning. Yeah. Nikki UK, hello love. Someone or more than one person knows where these beautiful kids are. Time to speak out now for the right thing. I agree. Rach says if he was any more laid back, he'd be horizontal. Because you all are busybody lies, Haley. Thank you, Missy. I don't know who Tiffany Marie is. Yeah, she straight up did say that. Yeah. I'm just saying, when you see her retraction, she's going to say she didn't say that. All right, let's keep going.
This was on the Saturday evening.
Yeah, just before Malaya had left.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to share something with you. So, those of you that are new to my channel, or some of you may not know this, my ex-husband is in prison for manufacturing meth. He had a little tiny, and I'm talking tiny little cabin on his parents' property, and he was manufacturing that out there. Now, I was not married to him. Okay, I left him when I found out he had started an issue, a problem. And he cheated on me. However, he had gotten to where he was, years later, he'd gotten so deep into it that him and this girlfriend of his were out there and they were making the product when there was a explosion. Okay, and I don't know the details because I'm not into that. But it caused an explosion, which started this little place on fire. And when it exploded, flammables hit her clothes, and she caught on fire, and she burnt to death. Sadly, in my ex-mother-in-law's garage, asking if she was going to die. So he's up the river for it. And his parents are good people. They just didn't believe he was doing anything like that. They really didn't. Like, they would have fought me to my death. I kept saying, my kids aren't going to be around him. Well, I don't know why. And I said, because he's into drugs so bad. And they're like, well, I don't think so. We would know if he was. Oh, well, when the feds came in and took it, yeah, they know now. It went front page everywhere. My poor children's name was splattered. So he's serving some serious time. Gotta move on. So I have a little understanding of the situation. I'm telling you right now, that little camper, that pipe coming out, don't tell me that that's no stove. That is exactly what he had out there. Okay? That went kaput. Missy says, Mama Day, I'm going to Pictou on Saturday for a boat launch, and I will be going to Garloch Road. I will let you know what I find, and I'll get pictures too. That would be fantastic. And share with all of us. Adopt a cat. Hello and welcome back, beautiful. I'm telling you, I really think it was Daniel and his brother. That's where I am. That probably got rid of them because they were causing too much money and work. Oh, I'm not there. I think this is a completely, oh my God, the kids got into this. I think that this was not intentional or planned, but that's my opinion. Yes, Katrina, it's absolutely horrific, but I have real knowledge of what I'm talking about. I don't come out here going blah, 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 just because I literally have knowledge, okay? And I was the one telling them all because he kept trying to come around me, right? He would just show up in my driveway and demand things like, come here, baby. And I'm like, I have been divorced from you 8 years. Get off my property. One time I was in my backyard. I'd set up a tent and I had our grill out there for the kids. They were like 17, 18 at the time. And I grilled some brats in the backyard after mowing the yard. And I was just sitting out there. And he just walked into my yard and sat down in my lawn chair like he was nothing. And he looked at me, he's like, am I a narcissist? That's what he asked me. Yeah. He wouldn't leave until I literally gave him a brat. Even though he had food at his parents' house, like he was spoiled rotten. They fed him all the time, good cooked meals. But he's like, I'm not leaving until you cook for me, woman. And I was willing to like just get this over quick. So I slapped a brat on the grill, didn't say a damn thing, cooked the brat, slapped it in the bun, handed it to him on a paper plate and said, go now before I call 911. Oh, somebody's at my door. I'll be right back, you guys. It's a real live. It's not AI. Someone's at my door. I'm live, baby. So it was shoes for my my oldest, or my middle one, being delivered by the Amazon guy. It was Amazon! The little velociraptors. I had to give them a treat. They were like, rah, 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 rah. And then the guy, he's like, I'm like, no, they're friendly. He patted them, and they were real good to him. But boy, they sound precious. Thank you for waiting. I apologize, but it is real life. That is an example of how a dog lets you know there's movement, but Logan wasn't aware of the dog. What the heck? Excellent point. You get the goat. You get a double because I have 2 dogs. Oh, yes, I sir. Oh my gosh. You know, I had a very toxic relationship with my ex, and extremely toxic. And it was on both sides, because I got to where I couldn't stand him, you know, because he was like, would just gaslight you. They started with 4 people in that property that are directly involved, and the families just kept up the lies. Their loyalty is disgusting to me. The drama is all about themselves. Isn't that true? Missy, you're going to get the goat too. You get the goat. Because when you get a full-blown, like, statement that just, you nail it. You just nail what's wrong here. Like, where's their prayers for Lilly and Jack? They're not even concerned. It's just like, whatever.
Into the baby was going to go with Logan. There was a lot of, like, kind of like, give me the baby, I'm taking the baby, and then, oh, you can come too. And it was kind of like, you know, Malaya, like, I spoke to her and I was like, why don't you go with your mom? She wasn't made to go with her mom. As her sister, I could see what was right and what was wrong in that moment. And they were trying to persuade her to stay with the baby. And I told her that she really needs to sit and think what's best for her and the baby at this time. And she ended up going with her mom, and that was willingly. It was nobody talking her in to go. I'm just like, you know, you have a home, you'll be treated right, there'll be food, there'll be love, like, you know what I mean?
So, that was her statement. But then, now, this is as blurry as it can get, I know. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to go back through the live that was so long to find the actual clip. So I actually got this off of another channel that had copied it. So this is copy and paste a dozen times, I'm sure. But it's messages here, and I'm not sure who Haley's talking to, and it doesn't have her icon. I'm just assuming that this is Haley. But she says, the first person's asking, okay, did you report the rugs to the police? And then I can't read it. And then she says, whoever this is, that we're going to go with Haley. I don't know for sure. I didn't see an icon. It says, let's start here. I'm not obligated to answer something I don't want to. And then Haley goes on to say, allegedly, Haley, at the end of the day, you guys are all strangers to me, and probably to this case, besides getting updates from the internet, etc. Quote, I never once said I found METH or cocaine. And then she says, you guys are twisting shit up. And then this person writes, Haley, the reason people want to know what kind of rugs is to consider where the children could, and we don't see. And then, like I said, I'm just trusting that this is Haley, but take it with a grain of salt because we don't know. It says people can want to know whatever they like. Doesn't always mean they get the answer they expect to receive. Next question. Okay, I'm going to come out before I vomit in my mouth. I'm about to lose my shit. So this is directed directly at Haley from me. I want to tell you something. Your niece and nephew are missing. Your best bet is the public to find them. They spread the faces out far and wide. The public are the ones that help the police the most. You've got people that need to be inspired to search for Lilly and Jack. And yet you're being a complete little, oh, you're all that little queen. You need to check yourself. You came on here, you spewed, you're the one that spewed a whole bunch of shite. And you did say M-E-T-H. I heard it with my own ears. That part's been deleted. Now it's a little bit cut shorter. Whatever. We heard it. You said that. So, obviously now you're full of crap. And I think, personally, from the conversation you had with this person, not here where you're denying it, but in the conversation where you're telling about your sister breaking down in the driveway, that the way you distanced the rugs, that it was shared between them. All you've done is hurt Lilly and Jack by distancing and offending all the public people that love Lilly and Jack, that want Lilly and Jack home. How about you go in there and you get some dish soap and wash your damn filthy mouth out, and instead of saying these little snotty ass remarks, get on here and start advocating for those children because they're your family. How about getting your head out of your ass and really honestly pleading with people to work for you to find those children that are your blood? Your blood. Or do you have no heritage? Are you that much of a simpleton that you think it's just about you? Because it isn't about you at all, Haley. At all. Next question, please. You make me sick because you're the one spewing shit. Now, I've been really hard on O'Grady. Really hard. And I still think he's full of crap. But she did say he's not 100%. Could he be 50% right? In other words, the kids were put in a vehicle and they did leave the property, but it was a four-wheeler. A couple of them. And it was actually Daniel's side of the family. Could that be it? I'm just asking questions. Adopt a cat. How does the mom and her family don't go begging the local news and place posters everywhere? Great question for Haley. Hi, Ramil. How do I say your name, please? Ramilla? Redmilla? Can I call you Miss R? Miss R, welcome. Welcome. Love having you here. Yet again, one more non-credible person. Amen. Welcome back, young black economist. The backtrack is hysterical. She thinks folks were born yesterday. These folks aren't too educated. No offense. Also not street smart. Oh my God, you guys are killing me with the goat today. You nailed it. They have no idea. When Sunny over on A Crying Shame, which I adore her, and Jermaine, or Charmaine, sorry. I said Jermaine because she said Jermaine the other day that somebody called her that. Charmaine, sorry, apologies, and Sunny, they've got that under their belt like I do. They have the experience and the knowledge of how true crime works. And to be honest, we all know that they are not prepared for the true crime world. So go ahead. Step on in. The water's fine. Get your toes wet. Okay, Haley? Because there's a few of us out here, we don't sugarcoat crap. I am not here to be anybody's friend if the kids are missing from that family. I'm here to find those kids. Let the RCMP play nice. I'm not going to. No, Lone. My ego doesn't feel better. I feel angry that this is the kind of shit this family is doing when they could be hanging up posters, when they could be going on ABC, CBS, or the British news and be like, my kids are missing. You bet they'd get an interview, right? Get the kids out there. If you think these kids have been abducted, then go plead for them. Get their face out there. Yeah, I'm judgy. You think that makes me feel better? No, it don't. What would make me feel better is when Lilly and Jack are found. This shit, this distraction, this is bullshit. That's right, it's a family feud, and Lilly and Jack have been lost in it. None of them are asking if they're okay. None of them seem to even give a flying fuck about Lilly or Jack. That's right. Find the kids. They think we are fools. That's right. They do. They do. I get mad and I ain't gonna hide it. I get mad, I express myself. Right, it's not about ego. They're objectively lying, and it's clear in my opinion. Just facts. Young Black, thank you, love. Who do you all think is going to talk first? I don't care. I just want him to, I want it to unravel like pulling the yarn off of a carpet, right? Just pull it. Unravel it. Wendy's, hello. Poor Lilly and Jack. What kind of life did they have in that trailer? Nobody but Belinda has advocated. Amen. And bless you, Belinda. I so much respect you because you do care. Because I can feel it that you care. We can see it. You're advocating for these children, and you're the only one. No more lies. Welcome back, lovely. Enjoy us. Oh, Haley. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm sorry. I thought you meant I feel better if I go off on people. No, I don't. I'm passionate. I can't sleep sometimes when I work certain cases. Like I have to figure out what to do. Because like I have, you're like me. It gets to you. They are all embarrassing. And it is a joke how they're acting. Thank you, lovely. Exactly. I can't pent up my anger. Then when I go to the Dollar General and the checkout lady does something wrong, I'm going to be like, where's Lilly and Jack? And she's going to be like, who the hell are they? I'm going to explode at the wrong time. I can't help it, y'all. I know. And I honestly think this tells us. She was like coming down on her sister, Malaya, the mom. The mom is having a breakdown at the end of the driveway, according to Haley. That I absolutely 1,000%, 100% believe. And why the end of the driveway? It's the last place that the dogs pick them up. We got all these rumors about the kids being removed. Were the kids removed on something, not a car, but a four-wheeler? Remember all my videos about why would Daniel drive a car to look for kids that are only 4 and 6? Why in the hell wouldn't you country boy just grab that four-wheeler? Well, now we know. He didn't want you to think about that four-wheeler being the first thing that he grabbed, did he? That's why he said he drove his car. First thing he did is get in his car and drove. Now we know. Thank you, love, Missy. You love me. Thank you. I just appreciate you love me. I really do. Married Dalmatians don't believe any of them. They're changing their stories too much times. It's all BS. Well, of course it is. And I've always said, if these kids just walked in the woods, no one would lie. No one would be lying. Right? There'd be no reason to lie if the truth is these kids walked into the woods. No. Do I think there was a party? I think there was a lot of parties. But I don't think they were there. Okay? Now follow me. I just told you the whole thing about my ex. And I'm going to tell you the knowledge I have. The one that's dealing the cards, and we're going to switch cards for math, okay? The one dealing the cards doesn't have parties. You don't risk that. No. You don't have a party there. The parties are held somewhere else. Okay? So they don't party at the place that they're making it. Like, you don't eat in your own kitty litter box. You're not going to eat there, right? No. You're going to put your party quite a distance away because you cannot draw any attention to what you're making. That's my humble opinion. Oh, welcome back, Missy. Thank you for watching the ads. I just found out how to do all that back there when I'm live, so thank you very much if you did watch an ad. I put it for every 18 minutes, just so that I do actually get paid for a change. Okay, I wasn't going to be the one to say it. Thank you, Katrina. Daniel looks like he is on rugs in Katrina's opinion. Thank you, lovely. Adopt a Cat says, I've never seen a case where a mother's children went missing and they just run away and hide. Because, like I said, she already had resolve in her heart. I think she saw the finality of the children and she thought, well, there's no reason to stay here. There's no reason to ask people to look for my kids at all. There's a finality with her, right? What's on that property? And I'm talking about the dad's property, right? And we had a lie come out in the very beginning that was like completely confused me because I was told by commenters that Daniel's dad had died and left him all that property. Now I'm finding out that that was a lie, and that, from my understanding, that was a lie, and that Daniel's dad is alive and well, and that the neighbor even had an altercation with him. So how interesting is that? Yeah, Sebastian's mom did the exact same thing. You're right. Exactly. If that is a rug camper, I didn't see that, and I can't go back up and pin it. But Adopt a Cat, thank you humbly for the 1999 snooper chat. Thank you. You say thank you for being an advocate for the children. Thank you, sweetheart. I can't go back up. It won't let me scroll back. Maybe if I clear it. Oh, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I want to give you a pin. Thank you, sweetheart. That was so kind of you. So, yeah, that's what I have for you. And I honestly, because of the way Haley did all this, and Darren's telling her to, I dare you to keep talking, all this kind of thing, and then she's got to get going right away when her phone pops. I honestly think that there were rugs because Malaya was supervised, right? But she was still allowed to be around the baby, so she must have been able to pee clean. Because as soon as there's rugs and kids are missing, CPS is going to, if there's other children in the house, they're going to automatically test you. So in order for Malaya to have originally been able to have the baby with her, right? To have any type of visit at all, she had to pee clean. So I believe Malaya did pee clean. Daniel and Janie could not have visitation of any children for a while, till Daniel worked toward it, which I think then he could eventually pee clean. And that's why he says he has random drug tests. He doesn't answer the question or deny what Haley said. Right? He doesn't deny it. He just simply throws it out there. I have random drug tests. Okay, yeah, now, after the children went missing, and you couldn't see your kids for a while, now you can see Meadow and your other kids, right? Or at least Meadow, with supervision. I believe it's because you have those random drug tests. I'd be sleeping with one eye open if I was the neighbor. I feel you. No more lies. Hello, lovely. How do you know, Karen? Please elaborate. Who's Karen and what? I gotta find out. these innocent kids suffered hell at the hands of these psychopaths. That's your opinion. We don't know what happened. I mean, Lily did write a big I love mommy thing, right? We don't know for sure. They could have literally just been very neglected, which I do think that. Well, and you could be right, but we don't have any receipts to back that up, Karen Love. So I can't really share that online right now. Oh, we are united. Oh, thank you, Jennifer Swain. She just pumped up the message. The poll before we go. All right, my beautifuls, get your vote in right now. Holy cow. We have a landslide. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Let's get into the poll, and then we're going to jump off here. Do you feel drugs are involved in the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan? If you answered A, yes, look at the math lab camper, then you were with a lot of other people. 66% are number one answer. If you answered B, no, they're just sleepy parents, 2%. And again, I think I can count on my hand who that would be. All right, the sleepy parents, right? We know. Or if you chose C, highly doubt that drugs were involved, 4%. And if you wanted the next favorite answer, it would be D. So the favorite answer is yes. Look at the math lab camper, A. And the second favorite answer coming in at a strong 28% is answer D. Not sure, but leaning towards yes. That's sad. But there wouldn't be all these lies, right? I do love you guys so much. I ask you to please join me in prayer. Your energy is helpful. I absolutely guarantee you from the bottom of my heart, prayer helps. And exactly, we're praying for all the beautiful friends. Thank you, lovely. Thank you. I pray from the bottom of my heart, here comes that truth train, that Lilly and Jack Sullivan will be found as soon as possible. Pray this from the bottom of my heart. I truly do. Pray these things with all my beautiful 1111 family. We put our energy positively together. In Jesus' name, amen. And it is finished. We get our prayers, right? You know, and if more than 3 people pray together, 3 or more, it's supposed to be guaranteed, right? So pray with me. All right, I love you guys so much, and I will see you again soon. Mwah. Thank you for the snooper chats. Thank you for watching till the end. Thank you, my live crew. Thank you, my replay crew. Thank you for hitting like, smashing all the buttons. Do your thing. You do you, boo, and I love you for you.